One of the best-selling midsize SUVs has been redone. That's right. The 2021 Nissan Rogue has been redone. They've went through every detail of this vehicle. They've changed exterior appearance. They've done a lot of improvements interior. They got new safety technology. They have new technology overall. They have new powertrain, new driving. They've done everything. And that's a huge risk for them. Nissan hasn't been so profitable and selling a lot of vehicles lately, but they really have done a lot to this Nissan Rogue. And I think they nailed it. I think overall it's a really good package. I'm going to tell you about that package. We'll talk about the vehicle, different things they're doing, new features in this video. I'm going to tell you my 5 things I like about it. Oh, and it's first time here. My name is Tim. Welcome to Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. On this channel, you find truck and SUV news, reviews, interesting stories, and new product reveals like this one. So hit subscribe to stick around because it's a good time. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and put on the screen the images of the new vehicle. We'll go ahead and talk about the changes. And I'll tell you again, otherwise 5 good things I like about it. So let's go and get started. Okay, let's go over this 2021 Nissan Rogue, and they sent me some static B-roll. This is background roll of the vehicle. I'm going to kind of pause this and kind of go through the screens with you and talk to you what they said in the presentation that I watched. It's a digital reveal these days. Thanks to COVID, we can't really go anywhere. But here on the front end, as I allow it to zoom out a little bit, is we're going to see this whole front end right about there. And I want to make a point here. So this, as you can see with my mouse cursor, this is that V-motion kind of design. They've had that for years. But in this case, they've redesigned a little bit taller. I think it works a little bit better here. I like the overall design. These are LED lights here and here. They kind of cut in the bumper a little bit. And then we have a little airflow that goes in the sides. So this goes around the wheels, helps aerodynamics. A lot of people are doing these days as in SUVs and trucks and everything. It just, additional cooling for the brakes, sort of. You're not really going to take this as a track, but it does help move airflow around from the front end and improve stuff. And the lower fascia has that as well. So I like this kind of look here. And then if you look on the sides, this reminds me more of the Armada, where it's got that bigger side without having a whole lot of sleek style back here. And it's just kind of some stuff they've liked doing for years is this kind of look. And so we'll get to the side here, and I'll tell you about one more thing they talked about in the presentation. So yeah, we see a little bit closer with the lights and see a little bit closer with the airflow going by. And then there is the other half of the lights. Kind of interesting B-roll they showed, but I'm going to go right about... Okay, they made the point with the body lines here. This is like an H look, so you can kind of see where that body line comes in here. And so they have added some body style here, which is what I've kind of been a little bit critical on the Armada because there is no body lines there. But I do like this body line here. So it adds some definition on the sides. And then they have a big opening doors they're trying to show, but we'll kind of fast forward a little bit through some of this. So there's the new wheels, and a little bit closer look at the wheels. And then there's a key fob opening for the rear hatch, which I've had before, and remote start. One of the important things back here is that they're really showing off. They have a tri-fold storage system, and then they have another spot on the side here. They'll show in a second. This is for a gallon of milk. See, boom, gallon of milk, which is convenient as heck, especially if you're grocery shopping. It's convenient. And we see we have the pull down for the doors, or for the second row. So the second row does fold flat. We have the use your foot, open a tailgate kind of thing. Okay, here's the interior, and the important things to note is that this is a new platinum interior. So these are the new leather-like seats that are trimmed out this way. And then the other important thing to point out is they've taken their zero gravity seats that they've had for years, some of the best, most comfortable seats in the market. And instead of just being a driver's seat, they've used all 5 seats for that zero gravity, and that's pretty cool. And we're going to kind of run the front here and I'll be able to show the dash and stuff here in a second. But those are 2 important things I think to point out. Long road trips and things, these are going to be really a comfortable vehicle to ride in. So we have some USBs. They show off the heated seats. They show off some shade for the second row customer. This is a pretty standard feature in luxury trims, and it's nice to see it come down lower trim levels. So when kids are in the back seat, the sun doesn't beat them down. And then this is the second row seating. And what's interesting is that second row you can put a car seat in. This is what they're calling a new butterfly opening, and what they consider this is it's so wide, I guess, as far as width here, or length, however you want to call it, that it's a pass-through area for the second row. So the second row can actually have some storage back here as well. That's what they're thinking is going to happen with this. I want to get it myself and actually see what this can be. Point of view here is that this is a new tri-zone climate control. So not only do you have the climate control for the driver's side and the passenger side, you can also do it for the rear passengers too. So you can control all that from one dash up front. And then we have some USB. This is the new 2.0, and this is the, or whatever they call it, USB-Cs. Whatever term we want USB, the new one and the old one. Okay, so this is the navigation system that they've come up with. I think it's kind of a neat, clean look. I mean, I think they've upgraded some of the colors and made it kind of stand out a little bit better. But that is their navigation. And we do have knobs for the tuning and the audio for volume. This is a nice feature. They've made a spot for cell phone charging, the wireless charging, and they have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple Carplay. They have a Bose system for the top trim levels. So I'm going to stop it right here because I want to take a closer look at this. So we have the window controls, locks, we have the mirror controls, we have the seating buttons as far as memory seats. So I think that looks pretty nice right there. I don't have any concerns there at all. Over here we have that tri-zone climate control. We have that, it's a 10-inch screen up here that sits kind of nicely in with the center dash. It's nice, it doesn't stand up too much, it looks like. I have to wait to drive it. We have the push button start stop, or push button on, I should say better. It probably has, I didn't hear anything in the presentation about auto start stop as far as the engine stopping at stop signs, stuff like that. So this is how you start and stop the vehicle. We have the charger there, cup holders. We have some drive modes, we'll talk more about that. We have a electronic parking brake, and then the shifter is an electronic shifter, and we'll talk more. They've added some more space underneath of it because it's electronic now. You don't have the mechanical going down. This is what's interesting to me. I've always kind of been a little bit of controversy as far as, not controversy, but criticism I've had as far as the buttons have been so pronounced. It seems like they'd be nicer, just kind of fold them more into the steering wheel. They don't stand out so much, they're not such a harsh button. And these look like they're a little bit softer touch buttons, so I can't wait to drive this to see if that's an improvement. The Nissan badge there, and then it looks like we have paddle shifters too, which is always kind of funny to me, this kind of vehicle. But that IP, the dash here, instrument panel, looks like it's digital. I'm not seeing any kind of real gauges, but they didn't talk about that either. So we'll kind of zoom in and go through the thing. So just look at that seating again, which we talked about. That's zero gravity seating. And they're leather-like. It's like leather appointed or kind of interior. And there's 10 airbags all the way around, so it's a pretty safe vehicle. And there's their navigation system. And they have, looks like a camera button there, but they didn't show off what it showed. So be curious how it works. This is, like I said, electronic shifter, and so it allows for more space down below. So we have 5 drive modes: normal, eco, sport, winter, and off-road mode. And that's just going to change the throttle response, change transmission, change how the vehicle will respond to different conditions. And this does come with all-wheel drive as well. Okay, here's the engine. What's interesting here is this is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. It's 181 horsepower and 181 foot-pounds of torque. Now that's pretty interesting to have the similar numbers, but their increase is like 11 or maybe 18 torque, and so they've improved the performance. But they don't talk about transmission, so I think this is a CVT transmission, a continuously variable transmission. So it doesn't have any gears. It just kind of, the system decides what gear you're going to be in as far as first, second, third, fourth. All right, my 5 things I like about this Nissan Rogue. Well, I got to start with number 1, the design. Now, I first saw it, thought it looked ugly, and I still maybe am on the fence in overall look. However, and hold on to your comments just a second, however, I do like the fact that Nissan's trying something different. They're trying to be bold. They're trying to be more exciting. You know, I think in the past they've taken their same kind of boring V-motion kind of look and they put it on all their vehicles. This looks a lot different. This looks more like the styling of like the Hyundai Palisade that's been on sale now, the Kia Telluride. More of a bold design. Not everything doesn't look the same, and so I think it really stands out. And whether you like it or you don't, I think it really does hit the mark of having a design that stands out from the field. And I think that's number 1. I mean, they could have easily just kept the same Rogue, but they didn't. They made a big change. Okay, number 2, what I really like about it is they really focused on seating. And I know this is not a sexy topic for a lot of people, but when you drive a vehicle, where's your butt? Your butt's in the seat. And in this case, they've taken their really well-known zero-gravity seats. I mean, if you don't know about these things, you will when you get inside this Rogue. They've taken those and put them in all the seating. Used to be zero gravity just for like the driver's seat or maybe just a driver and passenger. But in this case, it's all the seating, all has zero gravity, and that's a big win, especially for the people right in the back. Kids may not notice right away, but I'm telling you, it's a really good seats. And also like the fact that the child seat can be put in the middle seat. I've had kids for years. Yeah, years. I am that old. And when you have an infants and things like that, when you're trying to put them in all in the vehicle, it kind of stinks because the kids' car seats can only be on the outboard sides of the seating. So outboard meaning the outer seats. You can't use the inner seat. In this case, you can use the inner seat. That means you could maybe have teens in there with the kids, or you put your kids together and have a kid right in the middle of the seat, which makes a big difference when you're trying to give that kid, that infant, a bottle or something. Instead of like going back to the other side trying to get to it, he or she is right behind you. It's easier to see in the mirror, easier to keep track of, and I do like that. I think that's a really smart thing they've done, and that's really just paying attention to the customer. You know, this is a very family-focused category. I think that's a key feature that maybe people who don't have kids not really thinking about. Number 3 thing I like about this is it's no bells and whistles with the engine, right? I don't have turbos, I don't have hybrids, I don't have all this stuff going on. I have a naturally aspirated engine that seems like it's going to be pretty reliable without all these moving parts. And I know today's world, it's if you don't go turbo, if you don't do this transmission and that transmission, EV power, stuff like that, you're just not cutting edge. But I think from a reliability standpoint, and I think from a serviceability standpoint, I think this makes sense to me. You know, let's just go kind of basic here. Focus our efforts elsewhere, but keep the engine, well, pretty maintenance friendly. Number 4 thing I like about this is that they've included all their safety shield technology and made it standard. I mean, you know, no more paying for higher trim levels to try to get all the safety equipment. No more going, I really want blind spot monitor, but I have to go platinum to get it because the SV doesn't have it. In this case, they have all technology you need, and I'll put an image on the screen. It shows all of it around. And this is like the basic safety suite of technology. Toyota's been doing this. Nissan's now doing it. I think everybody's getting to the point of doing this. These are really good features that I know there's those guys out there that, oh, I know how to drive. You don't tell me how to drive. But these are darn nice. I mean, the high beam assist, I use it all the time here in the country. Blind spot monitoring, I mean, that stuff in adaptive cruise control, the Pro Pilot Assist they call it. But anyways, that technology does make a difference. It makes it easier to drive the vehicles. It's less stress. It's less driver fatigue. And it's better. It's safer. And that's really the key here is we have a safer vehicle. And this is their entry level. Well, I guess the kicks. So the mid-size SUV has all the safe technology. That's really cool. And number 5, and I think this is important for younger families, maybe not so much my case, but hey, younger families, is that you have wireless CarPlay, you have wireless Android Auto, you have a charging for your phone, which I use that too. I mean, I throw my phone in there and let it to charge. That's a cool feature. But they didn't hold off on those features, and that's what I really like about this. Nissan said, you know what, these are technologies that families need, younger families use. We're going to include these. We're not going to take and piecemeal them. You don't have to pay extra for them. We're not going to ignore Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Yes, they have their navigation system if you want to use that, but they're saying, here's all the features. We're going to make it wireless too, so you don't have to worry about plugging in a cord, which is kind of a pain. As far as trying to use a system, a lot of times you just want to press the button on the screen and access your music library, access your Google Maps or something without having to always have it plugged in your car. So in this case, you can hop in with you have the keyless entry on all 4 doors, which is really cool as well. You can hop in the vehicle, you throw your phone down, start charging it. You press your button, you have your music right there, you have your apps right there. No cords needed. And that's really convenient because trust me, I got all sorts of cords. And the last thing I want is one more damn cord. So there you go. There's my top 5 things I like about the Nissan Rogue. Comment below. What do you think? I know the design's going to maybe get some people liking it, not liking it, but do you think they hit a home run here? Or do you think it's a foul ball to left? I'm missing baseball, guys. I really want some baseball back. But hey, again, let me know below. Also, make sure you find out on the website down below. It's right there. And watch this next video. It's really good. Trust me, it's a really good video. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.